Hello everyone! Welcome back to Nuke Shop Media and the Capital GT Championship. We are here at Spa-Francorchamps in Belgium for round 8 of the season, the Mercedes-Benz Grand Prix. 23 laps, approximately 100 miles here today in the Ardennes Forest. Should be an exciting one indeed. I'm of course your commentator Zokio, and we look forward to having your company for this one. Let's have a look at who's here in the lobby. We've got fan favourite Dominic Kubinski in the TSR colours. Number 72, fan favourite of course. We've got Lugi making their debut in the series for the green team, as well as Zalan. They're currently second and third on the current practice session things, although some are in the pits. So thanks to Zalan especially for being there on such short notice, and I wish both of them the best for this race. We've got championship leader Joe of the Fire, as always, never missing a round. Which we can't unfortunately say for Taters, the series organiser, who's not feeling well, and we're wishing him the best with the recovery. We've got Widow here, who was very fast, if I seem to recall, earlier on in the season for Team Capital. Car number 9, Mercedes, closely followed by Mihai, who has just span out on the curb in that Fanatec-sponsored McLaren, number 29. I believe they're driving for Wheelers Tuning by Project One with a special livery. We've got Myth, our safety car driver, creating smoke at the side of our camera shot. We've got Banana Josh. He's remembered to not sleep through his alarm clock today, so that Capital Lamborghini is there on circuit. Could go well around this particular track, we'll have to see. Dominic Kubinski there in the pits there, and Sakura, of course. They are there as well. I believe they're in Lexus? Yes, Sakura there for Team Taters, of course. So that's everyone here at the moment. We might have some extra ones joining. If you're enjoying the live stream so far and looking forward to the race, be sure to leave a like and consider subscribing for the rest of the season. Round 8 of 10, so it's just this race and 2 more, and then it's the season over. It's been a fantastic championship so far, and let's hope the action continues. In terms of weather, it's a bit unpredictable today. This region has its own sort of microclimate, so we'll have to see whether we do see rain in the forecast. It isn't predetermined, it is set to random for this. We're racing in the afternoon with 3 times time, so it could be getting into the evening by the end of this one. And of course the Mercedes-Benz Grand Prix, that is the official name of the event. The beverage of choice in the booth today is strawberry juice. New choice here in the Nuke Shop Media Broadcast Centre. And I nearly choke on it instantly, that's not good. Oh dear. At the moment then, 2:17.313 in the practice session is the fastest so far by Widow. I mentioned they were fast, and they're definitely proving me right on that one. Let's do a quick audio check. Yep, audio check has gone well on the live stream. Hello to Dash in the chat. Of course that's Dashy, one of the Nuke Shop drivers. Unfortunately having some internet issues, I seem to remember him saying, and also just not feeling that well. Wishing you speedy recovery as well as your internet. We've got Lugi currently second of the order at the moment on this particular practice session. We're about 5 minutes away from the start of qualifying. Zalan there in third. I think that's some kind of... Well, they're using traction control and also some kind of stability assist of some kind. You see that extra icon towards the bottom of the screen. It's flashing red at times. Not 100% sure what that is, but it's allowed. Apparently. As there's mayhem at the top of Radion. There's a demolition derby going on. Mihai being chased by the safety car, and Widow comes through. Unbelievable scenes. The marshals are going to have our mate from the yellow flag waving in this case. Sakura going through. Oh, and Sakura with the takedown. Unbelievable stuff. And yeah, Dashi saying he's unable to speak for pretty much the whole day. I'm really sorry to hear that. And unfortunately, you gotta listen to me as well. And Widow comes back from out of nowhere. Unbelievable stuff. These guys will be taking it a little bit more seriously once qualifying starts, I'm sure. But at the moment, absolute anarchy is breaking out at the top of Radion. Many cars involved. Dominic Kubinski, meanwhile, doing the sensible thing and driving. What is going? Look at the track map. Look at those arrows on that top right of your screen. That is ridiculous. So that's Kubinski finishing an outlet. Interesting to note, we're on the GP layout, I believe, which means, yep, the pit entry, the pit exit rather, isn't the longer one. Takes you to the top of Radion. Interesting to see how that sort of shorter pit lane could play an effect in terms of strategy. And we'd probably just expect one stops as per usual. CGTC to Wreckfest, perhaps. Based on this, it would seem so. More chaos breaking out. Lugi making their way down towards Eau Rouge. And there's got quite a bit of negotiating to get through all this. And has decided to join in the madness. Hello to LJ in the chat. Nice having you tuned in for this as well. He'll be, of course, probably supporting the two capital cars in this one. Widow and Banana Josh. There is Widow, currently parked up in the tyre barrier and moving again, taken out by Mihai. And I believe Banana Josh is sat in the pits at this time. My stomach's feeling a bit off, that's not good. Hopefully that goes away. I have actually had something to eat this time, but not much. Oh, what on earth? What is going on? When the safety car is on safety. I'm gonna have to quickly monitor this chat. Yep, all sorts of chaos going off there. Hey Dash, you agreed to that. It was your idea in the first place to let Lugi take the full-time slot. The pre-qualifying shenanigans indeed. And we're at half past. So unless there's other cars on the way, which I'll check Discord for real quick, we should be getting this session started shortly. Any predictions in the chat as to who out of this insane asylum of a grid is going to take pole position? What on earth is that filter that I've just seen on Discord? Absolute madness. We've got LJ predicting Widow to take pole. That's a decent shout given they have the fastest lap in the practice so far. Though for some reason I don't think there's been that many competitive times set in practice. I'm not sure what's giving me that impression. Okay. We might be getting Emilius on the way. So I'm doing some moderation talk as well with Joe on Discord. Okay, what I've told him is to start qualifying and then we'll do a manual grid if he shows up. Hopefully that goes well. And we've got Kubinski going the other way up the circuit, okay. The reverse layout. Interesting stuff. What on earth? There's the safety car. Living up to its namesake. Okay, yeah, Joe's just going to notify everyone about what we're going to do. It's technically been delayed a little bit as a qualifying. It should have started a few minutes ago, but that's fine. Gives me that little bit extra time. I'm probably going to miss qualifying at this rate, but hopefully he'll be there for the race. Beyblade, let it rip. There you see from me. Fighting an epic battle, facing off and spinning the metal. I can't remember the rest of the lyrics of that, but oh well, probably for the best. Oh, Emilius is here. Oh, that's even better. I mean, he's not going to have any chance of practice, but then again, look at the rest of the field. This is ridiculous. The one time that Taylor's isn't here, and it just breaks out into complete madness. Taylors, we need you back, just to stop this from happening. Oh, Mihai doesn't want qualifying to start. He's enjoying the madness too much. Got 0.5 second penalty, has Mihai. Of course, the Mihai situation was they originally signed for the green team, Nuke Shot Motorsport, under the contract of being a reserve, but if they found a full-time seat, they could join that team. And they have found that full-time seat, so congratulations to Mihai on that one. Okay, here we go. Qualifying is live. Cars making their way out of the pits. Joe with the Fire most likely going to be leading the field, as he always does. First pit box. Should give him a 50-point deduction for that advantage. I think that's perfectly fair and reasonable. Dominic Kubinski has found out the track drives really nice in reverse. That's quite amusing. Oh right, Mrs. typing the Beyblade lyrics in chat as well. Oh dear. Unbelievable stuff. Quite a long lap here. I'm not sure if it is the longest circuit on the calendar. It's either this or Bathurst, I think. I suppose it could be. Unless I'm missing something, which is entirely possible. But let's go through the grid again. There you saw Joe for 5. We've got Zalan currently, well, resetting to the pits for whatever reason. Probably just getting some clear air. Is he? Let's hope so. Widow. Is there? Actually, there's a bit of fog setting in, so I'm wondering if there's... If there is rain on the way, then, you want to be setting your lap pretty much as soon as possible. So, a bit of an odd move if that was the case, so I doubt that. Just fog. So we've got Widow here, we've got Sakura in the Lexus, Dominic Kubinski, Lugi, Emilius, and Mihai. Well, a lot of these guys are all really close together, so gotta spread out a bit, unless they're trying to get a slipstream. We've got Banana Josh, and Zalan there. Here is Joe of the Fire, coming up to the chicane, the bus stop at the end of the lap. We're about to go on board for a lap of Circuit de Spa-Francorchamps in the Ardennes Forest of Belgium. Here we go then, towards turn 1, braking at just past the 100-metre marker. That might have been a little bit late, but Joe gets through there nicely, trying to put the power down through the La Source hairpin, and the downhill run towards Eau Rouge and Radion. Radion translating to the steep slope, and you can see just why it has that name. Extremely fast as you go up that rise and onto the Kemmel Straight towards Les Combes. Could see a lot of overtaking through this section in particular, I'd imagine, when it comes to the race. A little bit of oversteer for Joe. Let's put him offline for the third part of that section. And to the Bruxelles hairpin. Got to keep it nice and tucked in. The track descends, so you're losing grip all the time through there. And then X, formerly No Name Corner, towards Pouan, and again tricky section, high speed. Getting on the throttle, nicely done. Using a chunky bit of curb. And through the pit path section as well. A lot of the corners here at Spa-Francorchamps have more than one name, which is interesting. And through the back section of the circuit, through Campus and then Stavelot. And the run towards Blanchimont, again an extremely fast corner of the circuit. We're coming up to it. Here it is, Blanchimont. Nice bit of use of the extra tarmac on the entrance there, carrying the speed, and then the bus stop chicane, braking as late as you dare, but trying to get it tucked in. Trying to straighten the car up as soon as possible to get on the power, and that is a lap of Circuit de Spa-Francorchamps. 217.498 is the opening gambit from Joe of the Fire. Instantly bettered by Widow with a 216.760. Sakura will be the next to cross the line. They go second, 216.917. Dominic Kubinski goes third, 217.372. Lugi goes 5th, 217.680. Mihai coming up to the line, and I think Banana Josh has just done so, yep. 218.579 Banana Josh. Many times being set. Emilius currently in 7th, 227.1. I don't think that's a representative time. And neither for Mihai, that's 233.531. And we've got Zalan in that clear air, in that number 5 Nuke Shot McLaren, yet to set a time, but we'll have that benefit. So it's currently Widow at the top of the timing sheets. LJ's prediction looks to be on the cards as things stand, although 1 point, or rather 0.157 between the top two. And just over 6/10 between the top three. One of the braking markers in the middle of the circuit. Got to be careful of that. Made of styrofoam, so it's relatively lightweight. Shouldn't be causing too many issues. Plus, it gets you in your eyes of the marshals. There we see Zalan with a lap. That puts them 7th as things stand at 220.656. Joe the Fire making his way through Blanchemont. Won't have too many more attempts at this. We're already way past halfway distance in this session. Will it be an improvement? It looks like it. Joe does go to the top of the timing sheets again. 216.580. Widow again responds. 216.494, less than a tenth at the top of the timing sheets. Sakura goes way to the top. 216.060, nearly a 215. Can anyone better that? No improvement for Kubinski that time around. Neither for Lugi. An improvement for Banana Josh though. Sees them go 4th as Zalan goes out of the pits again. They seem to have reset. There's a 216.930 for Banana Josh, as I think someone else may have just improved. I think Mihai's just done so. Emilius as well, 219.410. 221.633 for Mihai. So Sakura now at the top of the sheet. Getting a little bit wide through there. It is within track limits, but if you got two wheels on the grass, it will make the car unstable, of course, and it'll pick up dirt on the tyres. Far from ideal. Zalan choosing to stay in the pits. I think that might be Zalan's session done, because they're not going to be able to get an outlap done by the time they get back around. They're in a voice chat with Lugi, so they'll be talking about things through there. Widow currently purple by 0.005 of a second through that section. And Joe of the Fire. Oh, that was interesting camera work there by Jack Wilkinson. On the cam as usual. Coming up towards the bus stop. We'll have one more attempt at it after this one. There you see Widow in the background. Here comes the Nissan GTR of Team Simpact Racing, number 99. Putting the power to the road. It's not an improvement, 1/10 down for Joe of the Fire. Widow improves but stays second, so 216.271. Sakura, no improvement there. Just over 9/10 down. As that's Dominic Kubinski goes across the line, no improvement that time. That's more of a warm-up lap on that occasion. Here comes Lugi, as well as Emilius. It looks like it might be an improvement for Emilius. Yep, 218.959. And I don't think it was an improvement for Lugi that time around. No. In fact, that was an outlap for Lugi. Mihai resets to the pits. As time has elapsed. Sakura again is a little bit safer that time around. Keeping the car stable. That Lexus RCF. Nicely done through the Bruxelles hairpin and X corner. Widow making their way towards the pit path. as Joe of the Fires actually picked up a penalty on their final lap, so Joe is going to be out of contention for this. And they're 2/10 green as well, so that's really going to hurt Joe. Let's see if Widow is going to be able to improve. They're going to be the next one to cross the line after that, as there seems to have been some kind of an incident between Lugi and Emilius, it seems. Maybe one of them just being held up, unfortunately. Can't quite tell. Here comes Widow through the final corner. Is it going to be enough? I don't think it is. Nope, it's not going to be an improvement either. Here comes Sakura. Will it be a further improvement for Sakura? 2:15 maybe? No, not quite. Banana Josh making their way through the final section. Number 28 for Team Capital. Dominic Kubinski, they improve, they go 5th as it stands. Banana Josh does improve, stays 4th. There you see Kubinski 2:17.222. Lugi, no improvement on that time, they're 2/10 down. And Emilius seemingly being the one held up from that. Everyone else in the pits, so it seems that it is going to be TSR Sakura for Team Taters, car number 1 on pole position. That's the first point awarded of this weekend. 1 point for pole position. Of course, 1 for fastest lap. And 18 points for the win. We'll see if Sakura can get that perfect race weekend done. If you enjoyed that qualifying session, be sure to leave a like and consider subscribing for the rest of the season. That was very much enjoyable, from my end at least. So Sakura will be able to choose what side of the grid they want to choose to start from. Monitoring a few different things as well. Oh, something's gone off in the Nuke Shop chat. That's not good. Okay. So Sakura taking pole position. Question being asked there. It was a 2:16.060 for Sakura. Over 2/10 faster than Widow in second place. Okay. So Sakura's going right. There's a lot of things going off on Discord as well as the lobby. Apologies for a little bit of radio silence as things get sorted out. Kubinski in the chat doesn't want to do this. It's going to be interesting, isn't it? I think we're into the break period as things stand. Well, technically should have started a minute ago, but we were a bit delayed. I'll put in any questions there. Just see what kind of responses we get. Exciting times then, 23 laps ahead of us. I've just been atted with nothing. Okay, wow, okay. Bruh. Thanks, Smith. Okay, let's hope this goes smoothly. I've got a formation lap to sort out. Here we go then. Get all the infos and stuff up. There goes Myth. So it's going to be Sakura leading them from Widow, lining up alongside. Then Joe and Banana Josh, Dominic Kubinski and Luki, Emilius and Mihai, and Zalan at the back of the grid. Thankfully we've got a long formation lap here, so everything can be arranged accordingly. And I don't have to start screaming. Myth on racing soft tyres, that's always helpful. Predictions for the race win. Can we have some of those in chat? Really looking forward to this one. Those clouds are looking a bit ominous, aren't they? Through the one again. Car number 1 making their way around. Nicely done. Firmly grasp it, as Patrick Starr once said. again, thanks to Myth, our safety car driver. Let's hope he has a quiet day today, but we'll have to see. Here we go then. We're about to get underway for round 8 of Capital GT Championship here at Circuit de Spa-Francorchamps. We are green, 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 and the cars are off. Sakura going to the outside line of the start. Nice jump. Widow maintains second place. Dominic Kubinski up to third as the cars are scrambling for grip at the start. Down towards Eau Rouge for the first time. Here comes Sakura. Sparks being thrown up by the cars as they ascend Radion. Side by side between the two TSR teammates. One of them's going to have slipstream from the car ahead. Joe manages to get ahead. As there's some more overtaking back here. Emilius and Mihai both with 0.5 second penalties. Going into the braking zone. Mihai looking to go around the outside. I think they ran out of road. They have done. Sakura maintaining first place from Widow, from Joe, from Kubinski. Banana Josh with a 0.5 second penalty. Lugi in 6th. Emilius 7th. 8th for Mihai. And a little bit further back is Zalan at this stage, keeping out of trouble. Really tricky to follow a car through this high-speed section of the circuit. They're doing a decent job of it. Sakura getting away slightly. Through the pit path and towards campus. Very nicely done indeed. The gap 7.5 tenths of a second between first and second, and I think we might be seeing something here from Joe with the Fire challenging for second. It's going to be close. They're coming up to the bus stop. Does Widow defend it on the inside line? Looks like they maintain position for now. A little bit further back because there's some shuffling going on. Mihai is now ahead of Emilius, as Emilius had to serve that penalty with a bit of shuffling going on at that point of the field. And Sakura's lost a bit of that gap. Perhaps not as strong putting the power down out of the bus stop chicane. And now I'd say Widow is in an optimal zone to get a run in the slipstream. Going up through Radion. We're going to go for a rear wing cam if we can here on Sakura's car. Here you see Widow closing in. It's not going to be enough, and that's surprising. Oh, they are closing. Have to be a bit braver on the brakes than that. Oh, but a mistake from Sakura. Sakura, they brake too late. Side by side they run. Does Sakura hold on to it? Just about. And goes straight to the inside to defend towards the Bruxelles hairpin. Round the outside goes Widow, side by side for third as well between the two TSR cars. Widow will have the inside for Ix. Very nicely done there by Widow. And the top four scrambling for positions. Sakura and Joe swapping lanes. Joe trying to find his way past. Sakura's definitely been unsettled by that. Now has to deal with dirty air, which the others have got used to. Sakura hasn't. Joe looking to the inside, going into the piff path, not quite. So it's Widow from Sakura, from Joe, and then Dominic Kubinski, Lugi closing in 5th, as is Banana Josh in 6th. Awesome racing so far that the circuit, the Spa-Francorchamps, always brings up. 4th place has gone off, that's Dominic Kubinski, clipping the AstroTurf and running wide. Did a very good job to keep that in a straight line. Some smoke being kicked up there. I think that was contact. As side by side for the lead. Through Blanchimont, still side by side. Sakura's going to have the inside. Widow's going to have to do the old switcheroo as there's side by side for Kubinski and Lugi, 4th and 5th. Trying to put the traction down. Joe as well, sliding about. I think Lugi has managed to get up into 4th place. Sakura leads. Widow looking to the inside line.com. Nicely done. To the inside. Do they get the power down? They're sliding again. Look at that, the graphic can't keep up. Side by side they run, they slot into line. Going through here. Oh, they're changing lanes so close to Eau Rouge. They're going to need to be really careful here. Need to back up a little bit to get enough momentum to make an overtake. And that's a 0.5 penalty for Widow. But they could end up in the lead by the end of this straight. Is Joe going to make it 3 wide? Sakura braking late to the inside. Little bit of contact and that sent Widow off the road. Joe manages to benefit. They are 3 wide. Car 99 goes to the lead. The big sneaky from Joe of the Fire, and another big sneaky as Lugi goes up into 3rd place. Sakura on the outside line could be hung out to dry. Here goes Lugi. Side by side towards X. Oh, just running out of road there. Gathers it back up. They lose position to Sakura in the process of that. Joe of the Fire benefiting from this squabbling now with a 7/10 gap over Dominic Kubinski. It is somehow turned into a TSR 1-2. Side by side here as Banana Josh manages to go around the inside of Huon. That was Lugi that they overtook there, and Widow in the other capital car in 6th place, benefiting massively. Let's check in a little bit further back. Emilia's having a quiet race by themselves. Mihai and Zalan in the 2 McLarens a bit further back as well. Joe of the Fire nearly up to 8/10. Dominic Kubinski will be having that slipstream, that juicy slipstream. You guys have to leave a like for this. It's just mandatory at this point. Look at this. And Banana Josh, another sneaky mover up the field. They find themselves in 4th as things stand, going into the bus stop. How will that Lamborghini treat its tyres though? That's been the Achilles heel for that car in other races. Maybe the circuit's a bit better suited to it. Less of the slow stuff, requiring mechanical grip, more so downforce. It's only really a couple, I suppose a few slow corners. As Mihai's actually gone off, Mihai's looped it at the bus stop chicane. Joe of the Fire with a 1.1 second gap. That's enough to break slipstream surely, and that's going to put Kubinski under attack. Here comes Sakura in 3rd place. They're closing in. I don't think it's going to be close enough unless they're brave on the brakes again. Not quite. Immense stuff. Banana Josh has a 0.5 second penalty, so Lugi will need to get past them as soon as possible in order to stay with the pack ahead. Round they go through the Brussels hairpin and X. Are things calming down just a little bit? It's difficult to tell. It just takes one slight slip up and things will start setting themselves on fire once again. Current fastest lap of the race so far is held by Dominic Kubinski at 2:17.887. His fan club will be really happy with that, as well as his start of the race. Sakura in third. Closing in, and Banana Josh is coming up to serve that penalty. That's going to surely drop them behind Loogie. But will it drop them out of slipstream range? Or maybe into the clutches of Widow behind? There is the penalty being served. And here comes Loogie. Banana Josh forcing them to go the long way around. Going round the outside just before Longchamp. Awesome stuff there by Loogie. Banana Josh having to settle in at the bus stop. Really close stuff. 1.4 is the gap, and that is a new fastest lap of the race by Joe of the Fire. And no one behind seemingly bettering that. So Joe is starting to check out just a little bit. Sakura, a contrasting line going through the La Source hairpin. Trying to get a little bit better traction. I think they're timing the slipstream run again. Got to be careful that you don't catch them midway through, as I think they may have done. They've slowed down a little bit. They do go side by side though, and side by side further back as well for fourth and fifth. Here we go then. Sakura forcing Kubinski to the inside. Good defensive stuff back to the racing line. Does Sakura get it stopped? They clip the grass a little bit, but they do manage to get that stick. Kubinski fights back. Trying to go around the outside. Can't quite get it done. A little bit of a cutback. Maybe no. Sakura covers that one off. To the outside again. Loogie holds on to fourth. Widow in there as well. Banana Josh closing in. As I think Sakura has that. Unbelievable scenes. I daren't click the replay button for any of this because something else is going to end up breaking out. That's just how this race has been so far. I'm going to be out of breath by the half race distance marker, let alone by the end of it. Emilius, meanwhile, just having a nice track day, it seems, at the moment. Unbeknownst to all the chaos going off, they see Mihai cutting the top of Radion. We'll probably get a penalty for that one. Zalan in 8th. As it stands, 2.4 seconds is the gap between Joe and Sakura. Joe doing what Joe does. Consistency McGee. Good stuff. Here comes Kubinski. And also here comes Widow. Widow's closing in on Loogie. Loogie forces them to the outside. Widow trying to get that one to work. They'll have the inside for the second part of the bus stop chicane. Will they have the traction though? Banana Josh getting a little bit loose on the AstroTurf on exit. And I think Widow has managed to get that one to work, although side by side again into the La Source hairpin. Widow's going to have to try and switch this one back under. And has managed to do so. They'll be side by side going towards Eau Rouge. This is going to be tricky. I think Widow does slot back in. We've got a teammate behind though, so they can't hold up too much. Oh! Practically pushing Loogie through Eau Rouge and Radion. They're too close to get a decent run in slipstream. Banana Josh with another 0.5 second penalty. Here goes Loogie. Widow to the inside again. Late on the brakes. They get it stopped. Nicely done there by Widow. Loogie down to 5th, Widow up to 4th. Banana Josh will be looking to capitalise as well, though they do have that 0.5 penalty. Joe leads. Was that fastest lap again by Joe last time around? Yep. 2:16.667. Sakura in car number 1. Pulsider, of course, looking to get back on terms with Joe, but it's really tricky to do so when you've also got to worry about the car behind in the form of fan favourite Dominic Kubinski. Number 72 for Team Simpact Racing. Widow in 4th place, getting a little bit of a gap over Loogie in 5th. Will it be enough to break slipstream by the time they get to the next flat out section? As Banana Josh, a massive snap as they ran wide over the curb onto a little bit of AstroTurf. I think it was there. They're going to lose out here. That penalty as well is going to drop them way out of slipstream range. Something for Emilius to aim for, perhaps a bit further on, if the chaos erupts again. You never know, all of these guys could be back together. So far we haven't seen... okay, this could be because of the commentator moment again, but we haven't seen any incidents in terms of safety car kind of causing ones. 216.551 for Joe the Fire. As the car keeps burning off fuel, it keeps getting faster and faster. The tyres seemingly holding on extremely well here at Spa-Francorchamps. Now, will Kubinski have a run down the Kemmel Straight? They're a little bit far behind. I think they're not really getting a significant slipstream from this far back. So has Sakura managed to break that gap? That advantage that Kubinski was having. He's closing in a little bit, but definitely not as much as if he was closer. But I think Sakura might be able to start focusing forward again, as Widow and Lugi still close quarters stuff for 4th and 5th. Oh dear. Absolute insanity. Things have calmed down just a little bit compared to before. Banana Josh in 6th. Still has a decent gap over Emilius. He'll be looking to close in again on Lugi and the pack ahead. Really is the top 5 at the moment. Emilius, there was a personal best lap by them last time around at 2:18.768. Zalan, another car pretty much by themselves at the moment. Going to get points for the team. Much appreciated. Very short notice, as mentioned before. Is within the hour, in fact, of the lobby going up that that was sorted. So thanks again to Zalan for that. Mihai currently in 9th place. He's had a bit of a tricky time of it. He'll be hoping for a safety car. I think, oh, he's very oversteering. Managed to catch it though. Joe with a 2.4 second gap. That gap's stabilising a bit. 2:16.8 last time around for Joe. 2:16.4 for Sakura last time around. That was a fastest lap of the race there for Sakura. 2:16.445 as they go Brady on once again. Closing in on the half race distance marker. There's Dominic Kubinski, the fan favourite, and Widow as well. In fact, it looks like Lugi's closing in again on Widow. Don't think he'll be close enough. Oh, already going into Lake Com. Not quite. As Mihai seems to have left the race, that's unfortunate to see. He'll go down as a DNF. He's having a really tricky time of it, to be fair to them, from that McLaren. Look at that, the top 5 still within camera shot after over 20 minutes have gone by. As, oh, someone's gone wide. Who's that? That is Dominic Kubinski going to Narnia, disappearing off our screens. Is that going to be a penalty? They managed to hold on to 3rd place for now. They do get a penalty, and it's side by side between the two Mercedes. Widow is just clipping the gravel, and somehow Lugi's benefiting from this, up into 3rd place temporarily. Has to drop back. They cut back side by side, Nissan and Mercedes. Lugi to the inside line.com. Kubinski will be serving a penalty. That could drop them out of slipstream range. Probably is going to do so. Really unfortunate stuff there. Flash of the lights there from Widow to the car ahead, Lugi. Got to be careful using that extra runoff. Can get extra speed, but if you go too far, you will get a penalty. Lugi defends for now. Widow looking to close in. I think if I was Widow in this situation, I'd just back off a little bit and, again, focus on getting a slipstream run. Although that sort of the squabbling is really allowing the top two to get away. I think, yeah, Sakura's definitely feeling no pressure from cars behind now, and they're going to be closing in further on Joe. Here we go then. It's the two Mercedes that are quite close together. A little bit of bump drafting midway through Radion. Kubinski and Widow, they're not teammates, but they are in the same car. Can't tell if it is bump drafting or not. Might just be getting really close. It is legal in this series. Through Lake Calm. Nicely done. But now they've got a rather large Nissan GTR punching quite a large hole in the air for them, which will be reducing the amount of air going onto the front canards and splitters and wings and such, aerodynamic devices. Tricky to follow. They're doing a decent job of it at the moment. One of the markers there has fallen over. Unfortunate. Rest in peace, brake marker. We've got a little bit of a tailwind actually on the Kemmel Strait, so that might be playing a part in the slipstream not being as effective. Meanwhile here, we've got a headwind on the sort of back straight section leading towards Longchamp. So that will be making the slipstream a little bit more potent, stretching further back. 0.5 of a second is the gap between Lugi and Widow as it stands. Kubinski has dropped back a little bit, and there you see Banana Josh is catching these guys. As into the pits goes Widow and Banana Josh, both capital cars. This is playing into their strategy then. They're going for an undercut with under half race distance still. They're choosing to get out of slipstream range and trying to benefit from fresher tyres. Making their way into the pits. Here we see the capital team at work. Car number 9, car number 28 as well. In fact, 28 taking on a bit less fuel, and I think they get out ahead of their teammate. Indeed they do so, as he's actually not changed tyres, interestingly. So Banana Josh, in what is normally a very tyre shreddy, that's a very technical term, isn't it, tyre shreddy, Lamborghini, has decided to not take tyres and save a bit of time in the pits from doing so. Now, the mandatory thing is you have to make one pit stop. It doesn't matter what service you have. It isn't a case of you need to use 2 sets of tyres, or even needing to take on fuel. The fuel is necessary because you won't make the distance otherwise, but it isn't mandatory. The gap at the front of the field, 1.5 seconds. That was 2.4 not too long ago. So Sakura, now with no pressure behind, is closing in on Joe. 217.1 last time for Joe compared to 216.7 for Sakura. And Lugi in third, pretty much by themselves at this point. They can settle into a rhythm. They set a 217.2 last time around. Kubinski in fourth as it stands, 218.2. A little bit off their usual pace. Oh, that's really closing in. 216.9 for Joe that time. 216.1 for Sakura. They seem to gain a lot in that bus stop chicane. They're so close to slipstream range as well. Let's do a tyre wear comparison. The Nissan GTR seems to be wearing their tyres a little bit more and is using more fuel compared to Sakura. They're not quite within significant slipstream range yet, But they're not going to be feeling the effect of dirty air much either as they go through Sector 2 with all of its twisty, downforcey sections. Joe getting the gap up to 1.3 momentarily. Lugi still trying to close in, as is Dominik Kubinski. 2:17.4 last time for Dominik. And 2:17.5 for Lugi, so Kubinski is closing in a little bit. That was 1/10 on the previous lap. Emilius, meanwhile, has managed to find their way up into 5th place through all of this. I think other cars hitting has benefited them. Nana Josh in 6th, Widow in 7th, Zalan in 8th. Have they paused? It seems. Oh, they had their hazard lights on momentarily. They seem to be okay now. Drove the fire, that gap 1 second, and this is where the headwind is going to hurt Joe, because that slipstream is going to extend a little bit further back than normal. On the plus side, a little bit more downforce through Blanchimont, and braking advantage as well for bus stop chicane. But this is where we saw on the last lap that Lexus of Sakura gain an advantage. It doesn't matter because they're both going into the pits. So we'll see if that extra fuel saving for Sakura pays dividends. That puts Lugi to front of the field as they continue to stay out. They seemingly going for a strategy of keeping the fuel tank as light as possible. Dominik Kubinski also into the pits. Here is Joe taking on that fuel, and Sakura as well taking on less so. I think that is a change in the pit lane. Here is Sakura. I don't think they've changed tyres. Yep, Sakura, no tyre change, just fuel, and the same goes for Joe. Interesting stuff. That could hurt them towards the end of this. Dominik Kubinski's actually left the lobby. I think that might have been a disconnect there for Dominik. Unfortunate to see. He might be in the live stream chat saying what happened there. Hopefully we hear from him. Yeah, as it stands, a green car leads the race. Number 52 of Nookshot Motorsports. Boogie. Very nicely done. So what if it's on strategy? I'm happily taking this glory. 2:16.615. So he still has pace in the car. That's just over 4/10 away from the fastest lap of the race. Oh, as I say that, clipping the AstroTurf. Gathers it up though. Oh, sketchy stuff. When will they go into the pits? They have to pit at least once. How far into this do they go? If cars are only pitting for fuel, then I suppose it does make sense to leave it quite late to make your pit stop, because you're not getting a tyre advantage from doing so, you're just making the car heavier. So that might be what Lugi's doing here. It was 2:17.1 last time. Got to think that mistake exiting the pit path was contributing to that. Let's see what Sakura does. Sakura in second, still with Joe behind. Joe with a very solid exit going out the bus stop chicane. Nicely done. Getting that gap to around 9/10 of a second. Closing in, trying to get into slipstream range for the downhill section, as I think 5th and 6th are close together. Widow and Banana Josh. An overtake orchestrated there. Now is Joe going to be close enough to benefit They're benefiting a little bit from slipstream, but not too much. I don't think they're going to be close enough for a move, but they're going to be close enough to put Sakura under pressure. Yep. Now let's see what happened here. Yep, you see the indicator even going the wrong way for whatever reason. I don't like it when people do that, is they indicate to show what side you're meant to go past on. That's not what indicators indicate. Oh well. But Banana Josh with a 1 second penalty this time around. Must have missed that then. But that might have contributed to why Widow's been let past to go hunting. Lugi still maintaining the lead as things stand, and as these two battle, they'll be tripping over each other just a bit. Sakura and Joe. Joe able to just about stay within range. Emilius as well, leaving this quite late. They're probably going to pit this time around or in one more lap, looking at that fuel indicator, surely this time. So 4th place as it stands for Emilius. Where will they cycle out? Widow in 5th, Banana Josh in 6th, Zalan in 7th. As we've seen a few more retirements, that's allowing Zalan to get a bit further up the order. We're hearing here in the live chat from Dominic Kubinski that his internet died. Sorry to hear that, Dominic. Of course, fan favourite here in the series. Wish you the best for the next round. Yeah, it's just these kind of things, you can't predict them. Emilius does go into the pits meanwhile for turn 1. As we're waiting for them to go through. Smith meanwhile has been sat in the pits, and because there's only 8 cars left on circuit, he's actually on the graphic. Nice seeing him there. Number 73 then, tyre change, interesting. We've not seen many of those today. New Michelin Pilot Sports for number 73. Fuel up. And off he goes. Where's he rejoined then? Seems to be by himself. Zalan is a bit far behind at this point. But again, still getting the points. I'm gonna put this in chat. Just to be safe, I don't want to get a car disqualified. Any car, that is. I'm just looking at Zalan in particular. There's a lot of fuel left. Don't know if he's trying to make it on a no stop like that. But just a friendly reminder to the competitors. Sakura still holds 2nd place. That gap around 1 second. This is where we've seen Joe be quite strong in the Nissan, very torquey. Although this time the Lexus with the advantage. Quite a torquey engine itself is the Lexus RCF. Widow currently in 4th as it stands. Banana Josh in 5th. Emilius in 6th and Zalan in 7th. Lugi continues to lead the race for Nukeshot Motorsport, number 52. They're going to be pitting either this lap or the next lap, looking at their fuel gauge. plenty of marvels have built up as well. The sun has come out here at Spa-Francorchamps. It's a little bit overcast earlier. This will put the track temp up. As Zalan does go into the pits. Thank goodness I don't have a car disqualifying here. It could actually just be the driver aids that are saving a lot of fuel there, but just to be safe. Lugi, 19.8 seconds. Last time it was a 2:16.9. 2:16.8 for Sakura. So, closing in a little bit, but not by much. In fact, it was the other way around, a tenth on the lap previous to that. Let's see this time around. 2:17.0. And let's see what Sakura can do. Sakura still with that 9/10 or so gap over Joe. Joe closing up a lot in the braking zone. I think going a bit deeper through there. 2:17.1 for Sakura. So in that case, Lugi was, well, thousandths faster. Car is lighter. Zalan again choosing to not take tyres. That seems to be the optimal strategy for this one, saving time by doing that. As all Lugi over the AstroTurf. Gotta be careful of that. Surely they're coming in at the end of this lap. Where will they filter out though? They've got 20 seconds in hand. What's the pit delta going to be like for them? Will they come out in this scrap or a bit ahead or behind? Joe continues to close in. Has he been saving himself a little bit, has Joe? Difficult to tell. He might have just been settling in. Yeah, he's got a lot of fuel on board. Don't think he necessarily needed all of that, but that tells me he might have been fuel saving for this. Just sort of biding his time. Widow still currently in 4th. What could have been for Widow? Banana Josh, their teammates, in 5th. Emilius in 6th. 0.5 second penalty at the moment. Zalan in 7th. Now, here comes Lugi. Surely they have to pit this time. Do they stay to the right of the circuit? Indeed they do. Now, here's the question. Where will they rejoin? Oh, kick of oversteer going into the pit lane. Good thing the game took over after that, because they might have looped it. Done an Austin Powers, got stuck sideways. That has happened in, I forget the league, but it has happened before. Here comes Sakura then, and Joe. Closing in. Lugi's going to have to take on quite a bit of fuel here. The car is yet to actually make it to the pit box. Sakura goes through. Here is Lugi. They are changing tyres. Perhaps going for the fastest lap point then, if they've got enough of a margin in hand. Although Widow is here as well. Widow making their way through, and it's going to be close. I think Widow does get ahead thanks to the momentum. This will be interesting then. Widow's one that actually did take tyres. So if Widow didn't take tyres, I'd say Lugi's in with a very decent chance here. But he's got to get into slipstream range again with not many laps to go, about 5 or so laps to go here at Spa-Francorchamps for the Mercedes-Benz Grand Prix. 23 laps, 100 miles. Beverage of choice here in the Nuke Shop Broadcast Centre is strawberry juice today. Good stuff. Car number 1 back to the front of the field. Could it be the perfect weekend for Sakura? They have the pole position point. They have the fastest lap as it stands. Will they get the win? Or will Joe find an answer? It's Team Taters versus Team Simpact Racing. I'm sure Taters, who unfortunately isn't here this particular weekend due to illness, will be very happy with a Team Taters win, if such were to happen. Widow still doing a great job in third. I think that gap's gone up a little bit, 2.3 seconds. We'll have to keep an eye on this between them and Lugi. And Banana Josh's not too far behind either, although those rear tyres are looking very burnt. Thankfully he's not going to have to worry about a car behind for quite a while. Oh, looking a bit sketchy on the brakes as well. As the rear tries to break traction. Sakura still leads 1.5 seconds. That gap seems to have gone up a little bit. Joe definitely not getting any slipstream benefit at this point. The tailwind has picked up a little bit. It's now 4 meters a second going south is the wind speed. Let's check in on some of the other drivers. Here is Emilius, currently in 6th place. Doing a decent job of it at the moment. We're looking to secure points for the team, as will Zalan, car number 5. Currently 58 seconds back from Emilius. I don't know if we're going to quite get into Lappery territory. It is a very long circuit. I think Zalan might just be safe, but we shall see. Wind speed continues to pick up a little bit as it's getting overcast again, and the sun is setting, so the track temperature is going to be dropping a little bit for these guys. That might benefit them a bit in terms of not sliding as much. Wearing the tyres, they're already quite worn. Those fronts are, especially in Joe's case, looking quite cooked. Widow, meanwhile, did make that pit stop, and they have got the fastest lap of the race. 2:16.008, not quite into the 2:15 range, but we could still see that before the end of this one. The lights are now on as we get into the evening portion of the race. Not long to go. About 3 or 4 laps left in this one. I believe 4. My calculations right. The gap between Widow and Lugi, 2.9 seconds. Will Lugi be able to respond to this pace from Widow? Let's see, 2:16.2 plays a 2:17.1, so it's not looking good. Widow seemingly with a very strong pace advantage. All of these sort of top drivers are extremely fast. Extremely fast. And Sakura, gotta say, it's been one of the fastest out here today. Is Joe able to close in just a little bit? 2:16.7, 2:16.4. It was a personal best lap from Joe, even on these really old tyres. Is he leaving this one late? You'd be very witty of the professor if that is what he's been doing this whole time, because of course it's pretty much down to whoever has slipstream on the last lap at this circuit with the way it's built. As the fog sets in the Ardennes forest here in Belgium at circuit de Spa-Francorchamps. If you enjoyed the race so far, be sure to leave a like and consider subscribing for the rest of the season. I think it's been a fantastic race. Sakura 1.2 seconds in the lead. That Lexus looking strong. How much of this is Sakura just sort of managing the gap as well? That wind continues to pick up 4.5 meters a second. The drivers have got to take note of these things because it's going to affect how the cars drive. Joe seemingly quite late on the brakes, able to use that headwind to stop a bit later. And the gap, 1 second. There you just about see Widow in the background. Will Joe get enough traction to break into slipstream range? And I think he's in range, but not quite enough to get a run towards Lake Calm. Some more sparks being thrown up as we see through that section, as I believe that was Banana Josh that has disconnected right at the end. That's really gotta hurt. Hopefully we hear from them in the chat or something to that effect. We've seen so many disconnects. Something's up. I hope everyone's okay. I swear it's not me sabotaging people to get more points. That is not the case. Could we see some rain towards the end of this in the final section? The clouds are looking a bit ominous. Hopefully it is just fog, because rain right at the end would be absolute insanity. Oh, there's a little bit of blue sky still there. Those tyres. I'm really having my doubts about whether Joe's going to have enough here to make a challenge. 2.5 laps to go. Lugi with a 0.5 second penalty, but they have managed to get the gap up. Oh, rather Widow with the 0.5 second penalty. Lugi in 4th as it stands. But yeah, Widow has managed to get the gap up to Lugi to about 6.6 seconds. And they were purple that time around. So they do currently have the fastest lap, but they're trying to go even faster, trying desperately to get a 2:15 on the board. There is Emilius, 2:18 for them last time around, personal best. Lugi currently in 4th. Looks like that's probably going to be the best for them, unless there's a mistake from someone else. And Zalan, again benefiting from the disconnects of others. Personal best last time actually for them. 220.466, right on the edge as they make their way up through Radion and onto the Camel Straight in car number 5. .4 the gap. Just under 2 laps left to go, and Sakura's fuel light is on. And Joe with a little bit more fuel on board. Has Sakura got the fuel numbers wrong? We'll have to see whether Sakura has to back off towards the end of this. Joe has closed in massively. The gap now to 0.9 of a second. The sky has gone blue again. I think the threat of rain has diminished. Oh, this is going to be close. It's going to be really close. How much longer can Sakura hold on? Joe seems to be just about safe. Widow, their fuel warning light is flashing as well. Lugi seems very safe on fuel. Emilius as well. And Zalan with plenty of fuel on board. Tense moments here in the Team Taylor's garage. We're hearing from Banana Josh that his PlayStation 5 just shut down. That sounds very similar to what used to happen to Mika from like a couple of years ago or so. His PlayStation used to just spit out the disc for whatever reason. Some kind of bug to that extent. Although that was a PS4, I seem to recall. I don't know what's gone on there. Really unfortunate to hear, though. Thanks for tuning in for this final section of the race. 1 lap to go. Does Sakura have enough fuel? You just about see Zalan's McLaren up ahead. These guys might catch. I don't know. Oh, sideways for Joe. Slide McGee moment. Jack Wilkinson taking photos. On the cam as always. That will have hurt Joe's chance to get a run through here. It is so flat out through this section. Look at it. Let's see the speed differential. See if Sakura's using some kind of fuel map there. 262 miles an hour. That seems a little bit low for my liking. Joe closes in again. Sakura so close on fuel. If only we had actual percentages, but you can just see that flashing indicator. There isn't much red there. Going into a bit of a slower sector. Let's hope that these guys don't quite catch Zalan. That way the race won't be interrupted. Joe has sensed, perhaps, if he is watching the live stream, that there's blood in the water. I think it could be the run up towards Blanchimont that decides this. Could even be the run to the line. In all honesty, this is going to be extremely close for Sakura. Here we go then, flat out section. What do they have? They have 1.5 seconds of a gap over Joe, but it's flat out through here. How much longer can they cope with this? Is it going to be enough? That red icon is extremely small at this point. There you see Zalan giving a little bit of slipstream benefit perhaps to Sakura in this late stage of the race. Does Sakura have enough? I think they might have just about judged it to perfection. It is going to be TSR Sakura winning the Mercedes-Benz Grand Prix here at Spa-Francorchamps with fumes left in the car. Incredible stuff. Time that to absolute perfection. 1.3 seconds is the gap between first and second by the end of it. Widow takes third place in the end, as well as the fastest lap. Couldn't quite get into the 15s, but an extremely impressive display by them. They'll take that extra point. Lugi takes fourth place in the end. Emilius will get fifth, and I believe Zalan let the leaders go by in order to not do an extra lap right at the end. So sixth place for Zalan. Good points for the team. Here comes Emilius. Their last lap was the personal best to 18.007. Let's see if they further improve on that. Not quite, but fifth place, very solid points there for turn 1 and Emilius. But it is TSR Sakura for Team Taters taking the win here today for round 8 of the Capital GT Championship at Spa-Francorchamps, the Mercedes-Benz Grand Prix. What a race that was. That's going to be one to definitely look back on in days to come. And as you see now, the fuel has ran out on the cooldown lap. Don't know why I was about to say formation lap there. Oh dear. What a race. These two have put on quite a show for us. And in fact the whole field has. Really sad that we've had a few disconnects today. But it was awesome racing at the start and a great battle towards the end. If you've enjoyed that race, be sure to leave a like and consider subscribing for the rest of the season here on the Nookshot Media YouTube channel. Lugi is in the chat actually. Nice hearing from you there. Well done on fourth. There's a lot of fast cars out there today. let's see where we're heading next time. Will we have a break week? Will it be in a week's time? It seems we are having a break week, but on October 28th, we're going to Lago Maggiore in northern Italy on the GP Forward circuit for the Corsa Grand Prix. That's not Vauxhall Corsa, for clarification there. That will be another interesting one, a very technical circuit. Quite high speed, similar in a sense to Spa, in that there's quite a lot of slipstream opportunities and decently high speed. Good mix of corners. Let's save the replay on that one. Here are your final results then. Sakura with the win, 1.3 seconds ahead of Joe of the Fire. Widow taking the final spot on the podium as well as the fastest lap. Lugi in 4th, Emilius 5th, Zalan in 6th, Myth our safety car driver of course there. And then we have the DNFs, we have Banana Josh, we have Mihai, and we have fan favourite Dominic Kubinski. That concludes tonight's action then. As I mentioned, be sure to leave a like, consider subscribing to be notified for when the next race happens, round 9 at Lago Maggiore on the 28th. We hope you've enjoyed all the action. Thanks again to everyone who's taken part today. And from all of us here at the Nukeshot Broadcast Centre, I've been Zokio, and we hope to see you at the next round. From all of us here, it's goodbye.